call to order at 5:30. I'm here, Renee.
Yes.
Emily.
Yes.
April.
Here.
Chris.
Yep.
Kyle.
Here.
Marcus.
Here.
Aaron.
Yep.
And now Jada tonight. Alright, hopefully everyone's had a chance to review the posted agenda. If there are no concerns or suggested changes, can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda. I'll second.
Renee, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Alright, our agenda is approved. We're on to the persons requesting audience with the board. I don't see any tonight. So none. Consent agenda. Alright. Kyle, is there anything you wanna mention from invoices and receipts?
Bill 29,833, Asset Works Risk Management, that is for special ed, so that came through for $2,000, was flow through money. Bargain to Gale Mechanical, 29,842 for $9,213.18. That was for valve work in both gyms, in both buildings, and the elementary one wing and the tech ed lab, and the chiller to get up and running this spring. And then Superior Sealers down at 29,853 for $9,133. It's in the rotation to seal both parking lots and the playground this summer. That'll probably be August, but that's the down payment to get it going. And on cash receipts in, we just have the IDA flow through money at 24,2645 for $78,283.61. Open enrollment. We estimated incoming revenue from open enrollment at $404,702. The actual is $393,478, so that's a shortage of $11,224. About 2 students or someone that moved out partway through. And estimated outgoing was $1,002,790, and the actual outgoing is $1,035,759, for a difference of $32,969. So the whole deficit for open enrollment is $44,193 from projected budget to actual budget. And then I'm just gonna keep going. It's not in the budget, but the health insurance premium, our health insurance for our employees is projected to go up by 18%. We spent approximately $852,000 this year. It's not final yet because we still have the August and July payments to make, but it's $852,000. The projection of 18% increase is $153,000. So we're gonna go out to bid on that, and we have a September 1 start date for insurance, so we have time here. But Libby sent all the information to the insurance brokers, so they have our medical stuff, so they can go out and get bids from other companies, because that's quite a chunk of change. If we would go with the 18% increase, the total expense for the district for 26-27 would be $1,005,360. And you gotta remember, we pay 88%, the staff pays 12%, so their portion would go up too. So we give them a 3% raise, and then their health insurance goes up. It just eats that whole away, so we've gotta go out shopping for it, so.
Oh, I'm so
that's
sorry,
the bad
guys.
news. So, that's the budget. And when I talk about having a deficit with, open enrollment, that, we'll balance that out, because like, we have a vehicle purchase scheduled for June, we'll just hold that off for a year and we'll get the budget there. It's just what it is.
Alright, I'm just taking some notes. Okay. Any questions for Kyle about the invoices, receipts, or budget update? We have some personnel updates. Do you wanna say anything?
Yeah,
about
we're
those?
gonna, on the floor is, rescinding the resignation of Joanna Stever after some long talks with a few of us. She's coming back, so that's great. And then coaching contracts, middle school volleyball, Angela Opstad, who's from the Twin Cities area, but she's moved out to Luck, is a recent find, for middle school volleyball, and that's opening up because Hannah Ovek is gonna be assistant high school volleyball coach. And then for the 6-12 math position, we're gonna go to the Philippines again. King James Baroga, and King James, that's his first name, actually has a connection with Join Me Matrillo. So we have 8 candidates, all international, and she reached out to her family and friends back home, and 3 of the 8 candidates were people she recommended. So I think that says good things for our district if she's willing to tell someone else, hey, come to Frederic, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's great.
So tomorrow, if you guys approve it, then I will start the paperwork with ITES, which is the same organization which helped Join Me her work visa here. Their fee went from $2,000 a year to $5,500. I don't know, maybe get something from the Philippines here, so that's just what it is, but yeah, we're excited about that. His wife also is a teacher, and they have a toddler as well. So housing, Aaron.
I got it.
Which she's working on it already,
I'm
so,
hoping that
so
you
it's the
can
same movement there. Danielle Reitman is the recommendation for 2nd grade teacher,
Yes.
because Natalie Olson is deciding to stay home with her baby, which is good. And Nicholas Seeger is going, with our new special ed teacher at the elementary school, is gonna coach middle school boys basketball. And then for resignations, we have Natalie for Olson for 2nd grade, Hannah Ovek for middle school volleyball, and then Ryan Carson, who teaches at Siren, is accepted a job with a different district. He's no longer able to be our middle school wrestling coach. So that's all I got. Okay. And then all we're looking for is a choir teacher still. Otherwise we're full. And everybody turned in their contracts by June 15th, like they're required by law to do. So everyone says they're coming back except for the ones we know.
Okay.
So that's good.
Excellent. Any questions for Kyle? Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
You want it?
Chris?
Chris has
Give
it,
it to me.
I'll second it.
Chris and Renee, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Consent agenda approved. Nice work. Nice work, team. All right, we're on to our administrative reports. Anybody want to volunteer? Anybody want to start? Who wants to start?
I will. We had lots and lots of end of the year events that I listed on there. Kind of those rites of passage, 4K's always a super cute one, and 5th graders coming to middle school. Summer school started right out the gate the following Monday, so we had summer saunters, that went fine. We had one day where we were trying to avoid lightning, projected lightning all day, but nobody was upset about that, so I think that's pretty reasonable, but that went well, and we have the regular weeks of summer school going on right now in both buildings, so that seems to be kicking along just fine. Never fails, there's always some subbing we have to do with some staffing, things come up. We had a staff member had surgery, so, but we've got some tried and true subs that we call in, and that, it always just works out, so that's kicked off pretty good. Marcus and I attended on Friday, just this last Friday, a strategic planning event at CISA 11. So I think we're trying to be really mindful of how we're coordinating without a larger admin team, right? And then how we can onboard Corey, who's our new special ed director, without fumbling through that process while we're also trying to figure things out, right? So we tried to spend a day together and kind of get that ball rolling so that we don't have to fumble with Corey, because he's already gonna be coming to something new. So try to spend some really good time on that, with Kelly Fisher's help in July. Anything else about that?
Friday.
Yeah.
I think it really helped us see and just think about goal setting, a less is more mindset, for buildings and alignment of goals between buildings and for your whole year, and how to meaningfully implement and enact those things, and so it doesn't feel like you're going through motion, and so I feel like it was good, and we got a good, track to work and build on, and we've got, me and Aaron and I have some common language we can build on also, which is, I think, important. Rather than us doing, maybe separate things, or I talk about it one way and she talks about it another, we've got real common language to really build on, so I think it was really good.
There was a couple, I know you guys have heard me talk about, the DPI, like the compliance monitoring, those behind the scenes pieces with the titles. That Frederic's being selected this year for that compliance monitoring, and there's things that are just required, like you have to do an annual needs assessment, and those are just best practice things anyway. But CISA had a couple of really nice formats that they created that are less clunky than the DPI examples. So, I mean, those are the pieces I love to take away when you go to a good CISA meeting, because they're usable, you can make a copy of it, then you can start building with it, so, we're trying to figure out ways to make things more efficient, so we're not doing the same work in multiple places, right, like every other organization. So, I thought it was helpful, but then you leave there going, oh my god, I have so much to do, right? So, good, but now like organizing your work, so, now we gotta just start knocking it out.
Any questions for Aaron? Alright, Marcus.
Okay, well, again, it seems to echo off what Aaron said, end of the year stuff went really well, 8th grade graduation went well, performance gym was packed. I was like, we've got a small 8th grade class, less than 30 students, but seemed like we had 50 or 60 students with the amount of people that were there, so it was really awesome to see the community supporting their 8th graders going up, which it seems like not a big deal. 8th grade to freshman doesn't seem like a big deal, but it was really fun to see, and everyone seemed. Yes, yeah. I mean, it was in the same building though, I don't know, maybe it's a different building, but I don't know, that was awesome. So I was really happy to see so many people. Dawn and Miss Dog did a really good job, facilitating that, and, they did student voted superlatives, which were silly and fun, and they had good pictures, and it was just overall, it was a good night. So that went very well. High school graduation also very well. Night was pretty organized. It was the first time I'd really done a speech out in front like that, and that was pretty nerve-wracking, but I think overall went pretty well. I'd never really been involved in a graduation like that, and in that aspect, so it was pretty fun. And again, attendance, you'd think our school is much larger than it is with the support our community shows, so it's really impressive to me to see that.
And also, if I can just add, the staff support for graduation
Yeah.
it's always impressive to me every year, the number of staff that we have that come and attend graduation, and it just always fills my heart with joy. I know that our staff are committed, and there they are at graduation, and every graduation I attend, there's a ton of staff
stage
there.
right.
Yeah, it's
And the
fabulous.
kids love that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you. And then, finals week seemed to go really well. Finals tests and projects had a high percentage of completion and success. I think, if I was looking at F, something I want to talk about negatives, but I think we had less than 10 in the building for trimester, which I feel was pretty good.
That's good progress.
Less than 10, and he goes over only a few students, so like it was really good, really good. And if you looked at that 2 weeks before, there was probably 35. So they really worked hard at the end, and really with teacher support, they really gave them good opportunities to get their work done and to a level, it's not just checking off boxes and pass them along. So it's pretty good. And then we ended up with Valley Fair and Adventure Zone. Those seemed to go okay as well. And last thing I've got on mine is Maggie Wooten qualified for state track in 4 events. I don't know, it's a pretty amazing thing. You've probably heard about her, but pretty phenomenal to qualify in 4 events. That's pretty amazing. I don't know what that's like, but it seems pretty awesome. For me personally as an athlete, everything.
Yeah.
Yes, it's pretty incredible. So,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
very rare.
It is very rare. I was like trying to think, cause I went down to watch too, and I'm like, and there might have been 1 or 2 other athletes there that hadn't qualified, and you know what I mean, all 4 events that they were entered into as well, so, I mean,
There's a lot of Facebook posts on it, that was nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and sweet girls.
Absolutely.
And then that's all I have on mine, and then just getting our summer work going, or student handbooks coming, and athletic code, and we have a whole bunch of stuff in the works to get our summer work going, and getting teachers lined out for end of the year meetings that we had, and talking about, changes we wanna make as a building, and things that they wanna see, so I got a lot, maybe too much teacher input, but I don't know, a lot, maybe too much teacher input for me to like to go over, it feels like a lot. It's not, but it feels like a lot of papers, and so I've got a lot of sifting through to help guide the ship the way they want it to be guided, so, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. Any questions for Marcus? Alright, Kyle.
Well, I went over to health insurance, we'll have to set up a policy committee and a few other committee meetings. I heard back today from Market and Johnson. Tuesday, they're gonna have the numbers, and Ryan from Market and Johnson's gonna come during the day on Thursday, meet with Carl and I, but if we got the facilities committee, then get together to go over those numbers with the track and the football field and different options, that'd be great. And then I'll be working with IT and ES to get our new math teacher here, so. And then on July 11th, I'm going to Stevens Point for the WSB Summer Learning Symposium. And, I'm on a panel about roots and branches and daycare services at a school. Pittsville's gonna be there, Macon School District, and I can't remember the fourth school district is their group, so. yeah.
Excellent. Any questions for Kyle? Alright, thank you. On to board member reports and governance. We don't have any committee, reports for tonight, but as Kyle mentioned, we'll probably set up a few meetings when we get to the end. And then that summer symposium, it's not on the agenda, but just again, to mention, if, I don't know if registration is closed for that yet. I don't know if anybody had notified Jessica if they were interested in attending at that.
I think it's a Friday, Saturday event.
And then we're on to our action items. So the first one is consideration and possible action regarding the 26-27 academic and career plan, which I believe is in your extras. I don't know if there's things to
I don't know, Marcus,
say
I
about
wanna
it?
highlight anything on it?
comment at all.
I think it's pretty cut and dry as far as if you read through it, all kind of reads as is. It is, Miss Sadi went through, she's the DAC, and she went to CISA and worked with a consultant there, to create this model. But it just kind of goes over our ACP plans and our, as far as outlined by their parameters. And if you, I looked at some of the other ones from online, and their formatting is very similar with really similar verbiage, and looks like everyone does something pretty similar. Then I think the idea is just to go through and how can we incorporate this academic and career planning and more into our lessons and more into, so it doesn't feel so isolated to like a Viking time, or just this, I guess should be embedded maybe more through our classes, and how can we do that? Or, and I think a lot of it from what I saw is it's identifying what we're already doing, and just kind of like having this big scope and sequence of these academic career planning things that we're doing in our classes and pushing, and then also keeping them more organized so we can be accountable for it.
So, the ACP, that's what it was, the academic and career planning, that's been a requirement in the 612 for many, many, many years. But the formal report or plan extends it to the elementary. So it's new for us to document now. So now with that, we're gonna incorporate that with guidance. Because we already have a structure for guidance lessons, and a lot of the standards, along with financial literacy standards that go way down to the kindergarten level, we're gonna incorporate some of these additional learning targets through the guidance program and have Ella do that, those lessons. There's some appropriate places for it to land in math, but the way the standards are written they really go with kind of those executive life skills and So that's how we're gonna handle it down there, but the formal plan is new, with the addition of elementary. Otherwise, the DPI put out that program Zello, and that's what's always been used for ACE. You may be familiar with that, but, this is just, you know, another requirement, district-wide now.
I feel like I don't recognize this document.
Yeah, it's brand new.
It's a brand new document.
Okay,
They just,
brand-
they
yeah,
like,
okay.
CISA kinda created a,
Okay.
like, every
Where's that
district here's a
brand?
great, tool to use to fill in for each district, and, yeah, I just worked through this too.
So now it's a district-wide
So,
initiative
but-
instead of just.
Yeah, and
CISA.
so they
Okay.
just, but CISA, and they probably got it from the state, to be honest, too, but just to make sure that every school is covering those, and then just as a board, we just have to approve that we understand what's being,
Right.
to make sure that all the
Basically
different-
documenting what we've been doing.
Yeah.
to document all the
Right,
things
yeah.
that we're doing, and then,
For
you know,
sure.
what are the goals to continue to, move forward and add anything, but I think, you know, if you look at one thing in here, I think, I guess I focus on, I like this a lot too, but you look at the district career readiness data, and it talks about your CTE concentrators, your career and tech ed concentrators, and you know, how many kids are taking multiples, so making sure that kids are, you know, taking those classes and being, and concentrate, there's all sorts of information like with that, but I was guessing too, like the participants probably dropped some because our FACE program, that was my guess on there. I didn't ask that question, but I was gonna ask you that, because family consumer ed, is
Probably
obviously
right.
one of those participant areas, and so that probably was part of, since we didn't have a full-fledged, you know, we had some classes, but not a full-time teacher this year, that was part of why some of those numbers probably were down a little bit, so.
Because before we had art and FC, and now you just have one teacher doing both, so that doesn't double your amount of
Yeah.
classes.
Yeah. And then, yeah, like the youth apprenticeship, like that's a cool program too, because the kids are working in a job, but also taking some classes here at school, but, so just, yeah. So anyway, yeah, this was put out by C, so then every school
You
used
probably didn't fill that out.
What?
You probably didn't fill
I
that out.
did last Wednesday. We completed it last Wednesday. Yeah.
So then, my only question was just the date of the document, just cause the PDF is documented, or the PDF is named 25-26, but what we're approving is 26-27. So I didn't know if that was an issue, or how that's supposed to be done.
Yeah, cause they
I wanna make sure we get the
they were
motion
working
right.
on it in the 25-26 school year, but we wanna make the plan for 26, that's,
Right, because then down there we have goal, like the next section is goals, which is for the next, but the PDF is is dated a different.
yeah, cause it was.
Well, I will
last
say,
year.
and I don't know,
Yeah, 'cause there's-
I mean, I can only talk from my personal experience, but we're actually gonna run 2 at Webster. We're gonna approve one for this current year that, just cause we just got it finished, which obviously has it, so the 25-26 year. Come back early on in the year and make the plan for the 26-27 year, so.
So you do it early.
But
Okay.
yeah, do it
Okay.
early, so I don't know if this is one that we approve right now as a Frederic school district for the 25-26 school year, like here's the information, and then, you know, there's a quick update once everything gets rolling and you know how many, you know what I mean, like how many kids, cause right now you don't know how many students are enrolled in
Right.
those CTE
Right.
classes yet, cause those
Sure.
schedules and still are still being worked on.
Yeah.
And you might still have some more youth apprenticeship kids that come in, or, dual enrollments and things like that too,
Yeah.
so, that's just a thought, so like this could be our approval, that we approved and we understood like, kind of in a sense, what the
What
plan
did
was
happen
and what
in
did happen in the 25-26 school year. And then like we could see this on an agenda, like say in October, maybe again, to
Does that-
approve for the
does that sound right?
26-27 school year.
I had the same issue as well of like, cause to me it felt like they wanted us to create a document at the end of the year for what we've been doing all year, which is
Mhm.
really effectively what it is.
Yeah.
Which is
It
good.
just felt kinda weird to like,
Yeah.
well, it was kinda backlogging things.
Yes.
Yeah.
It always feels
Yeah.
kind of unusual, which is fine, we can write the stuff down that we're doing, which just kind of felt like what it was. So yeah, we were in that same kind of
Yeah.
boat of like, we can't really do it for next year, this is for last school year, and so.
Yeah.
Right.
So our
Yeah.
plan was to update and
Yeah.
have a new review at the beginning of next
And
year.
in conversations, same thing with Mike from CISA, like that was kind of, like, that was the gist I got, yeah.
Well, if we do it that way, cause the elementary piece is new, Ella and I are gonna be mapping that out over the summer,
That's
so
what I
then we
mean,
would
so
have
like
a
now you
chance
Yeah.
to show you.
have a little bit of an update,
Yeah.
and then we
Yeah.
could approve early in the year for like knowing as a board, I don't know, just a thought.
Yeah, I like that,
So-
that makes sense.
So
to me.
like, so this puts
That
us in
works.
compliance with DPI,
Yeah.
because DPI is requiring us as a district to have this approved and sent to CISA, and then,
And then we know what we're
and then we
doing, how
know-
we're gonna tackle it for next year, and I like
Yeah.
being able to then put the elementary stuff really in there,
Yeah.
so we're definitely
Yeah.
approving it.
and then you know
And it,
exactly.
whenever they start something new, you kinda have that weird,
Yeah.
it is a weird start just with
Yeah.
the timing,
So
so.
we gotta sit down and figure out the standards and how it's gonna look,
And-
and that's not like a 1 week project.
Yeah, and I think CISA didn't come out with it, like, this was given, like, April, maybe
Yeah.
March, you know what I
Yeah,
mean, like,
like-
this document hasn't been out for very long, so.
So the motion that I'm looking for then is, to approve the 25-26 academic career plan as presented, and then we would know we'll be getting a new plan in the fall to approve for the next year. So if I can get a motion for that,
We'll bring our motion.
Second that.
and April, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you, everybody, good work.
I'm just curious, like, on the numbers, like, this was like 85 and then it's 112, is that what you were talking about?
So that's what I was talking about, when you have, like, family and consumer ed or family and consumer sciences is a CTE area.
Okay.
And so
Because it's
without,
like-
since we didn't, since Carrie was doing art and then a little bit of face this year, we didn't have, right?
Right.
We didn't
Have
have,
as much
so we didn't have
course
that
effort.
opportunity for kids to be taking those CTE classes weren't
Okay.
available, so those numbers are
So
naturally
then
going
it's
to
gonna like
drop.
change in this next plan, like?
It could, I mean, just depending on how many kids sign up for what classes, so, yeah,
Okay.
so,
That's a good question.
but it is,
I know,
no,
I
it
mean,
is a
that's
good
just like a
question. So you're looking at,
change or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I'm like.
Because before you had a whole nother teacher teaching
Yeah.
6
Yeah.
hours of classes, and now that's gone.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
like, that's a lot.
Was
Okay.
that 2
Yeah.
years ago?
We had
Yeah.
a full-time
Yeah.
class teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes sense, like,
Yeah.
that's what you were talking
Yeah.
about, but I'm,
Yep,
it
yep.
was like a huge number,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is,
it is.
because of time.
Yeah, so you do 6 hours times 12 to 15
And if-
kids in each room.
And if
Yeah.
one kid takes 3 classes, there's still just one participant, do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So versus,
Right.
they might be taking a lot of classes, and then that's where that concentrated part comes in and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd love to have that
I don't,
conversation.
yeah, I don't.
Okay,
That's where I
great.
nerd out.
Okay.
As a former family and consumer ed teacher.
And that's good that someone does that.
Yeah,
yeah.
Alright. On to the property and liability insurance renewal.
EMC Insurance Company is our provider, and the premium went up a little bit, like $3,493. And these are the various areas, so
I thought it was a pretty modest increase.
I think I'm pretty happy with that, yeah, I'll take it.
As I looked at it, I was expecting much bigger numbers.
We did do some work on counting our building and square footage and the new shed compared to the old shed and stuff like that, so we did, yeah, so we went over it pretty good this year, so, yeah.
Any questions?
That's not too bad, $3,483 more.
No, that's,
We'll take it.
in today's world,
That's just for the school, right? For all.
Both
of the
schools, every
properties.
building we have, even like the dugouts at the softball
Oh,
field,
okay,
the bleachers at the
everything, yeah.
football field, any property we have. You know, fencing around, everything's, the track, anything that we have is physical building, and then you got, we also have, if we had a crime of some sort, we have cyber policy on there as well, in case we had a cybersecurity issue, yeah, it's all, anything that has to be property.
And the inland marine, inland marine?
Yeah, everyone has that, everyone that does.
No, I just thought if
Yeah.
there was a nice boat out there or something.
We do
I
not
know,
have any,
I'm
we do not have any,
sorry.
we do not have any boats, no, we do not have any boats, I don't know.
There's
if
a
that-
nice pond right over here.
Yeah, I know, where's the
Yeah.
boat? It's right in there. Probably a bigger pond today.
Yeah.
That's okay, that's good, yeah.
Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Alright. So next topic of discussion is, consideration and possible action regarding conducting a joint board meeting with Siren and or Webster schools. So this comes from, I think board members are aware, and, you know, Siren had reached out to both us and Webster interested in having a meeting or discussion to try and help them address some of the concerns in their current situation. Kyle and I have talked, and I think we had talked as a board that that's something, I mean, we would be willing to attend a discussion, you know, that commits us to nothing. I think we're not ready to commit to anything. I think we have to, you know, first seek to understand the situation. One of the things Kyle and I discussed, and I wanna toss out to you guys, is the idea of having, there's an idea out there to have a moderator for the meeting or a facilitator for the meeting that's not from one of the districts, somebody from either WASB or DPI, just somebody that's not local, and that also understands all of the different rules and things, because I think that some of the challenges are probably that Siren may want assistance in ways that we can't offer assistance based on rules that are coming from DPI or other state statutes that none of us would be prepared to understand in the moment. And so having an outside facilitator, I think, you know, it's my opinion that I think that would be very helpful. And so my proposal would be if we were going, and Kyle and I thought it would be important to be on record as a board saying, yes, we think, you know, we'll deal with the logistics and scheduling in another time, but are we okay with being part of a conversation? My proposal would be that motion include that I would want it to be facilitated by a third party. I think that could be really important. My concern is, I've never encountered a district that's in Siren's situation. I don't even know that I completely understand their situation. And having somebody who knows more about this than all of us makes sense to me.
Webster School District did vote earlier this week to participate in a joint meeting, so they already decided to do so.
Would they be on board with facilitator too, or was that even
We
presented?
talked about, the three soups, we talked about, you know, who could we bring in that would bring a broader sense of this. And
Right.
well, I think everyone's open to it,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Is
something else.
Webster in the same place as Siren, or,
No,
so Siren's just kinda in between us struggling?
Webster's is in great shape, they just passed a referendum in April, we're in decent shape, and Siren is struggling.
Okay.
And so is Siren, and if we meet with them in July, we're not talking about pulling things together by September. This is gonna be a slow roll on our end, because we don't know what they need, they don't know for sure what they need, because they've had a lot of personnel leave in the last 6 weeks. They've had two principals leave, a pupil service director, their Native American director left, their athletic director left, and multiple teachers, including some that have come to our district. So we listen, talk, learn, but it's gonna be a slow roll.
And truly just a discussion,
There's
there'll be no
action.
action or business
Yeah.
or
And
contracts
it'll be
or
open to the
anything like
public,
that.
if we have a meeting, it'll be open to the
Yeah.
public.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to find a night, we have 5 board members, they each have 7, so that's 19 people and 3 superintendents, so you're gonna try and find a night in July for 22 people, but you at least gotta go, look, listen, and learn.
Well, and my thought is that, I mean, I certainly, I want to be part of a conversation, if there are ways that we're able to help them as they try to help their students. I'm certainly open to that conversation, but our job, our responsibility is to protect our district and our students. And so we have to be just mindful of that in trying to be a good neighbor. We
Yeah.
also have responsibilities here to our kids and families, and we can't
Absolutely.
lose sight of that, and to not have those messages get mixed and twisted. And I certainly want, for us as a board to be able to speak for ourselves in saying, we want to be helpful and there are limits to what we might be able to offer. And those limits are driven by our need to make sure that our students and families are well taken care of. And have that message be delivered clearly, kindly, certainly, but I think that's for me a big.
I do like the idea of a facilitator. I mean, I had that thought heading across my mind, but I think it's good from several different aspects, but especially because, like you said, they're going to be one, they've got no personal, you know what I mean, connection to anything. So there's nothing that's going to be emotional to them, you know, obviously, but I think also just they're seeing things from this level versus, we're going to each see things specifically from our own districts and,
And we don't know what we don't know.
yeah, and they
so
might,
much.
bring up topics like, here's other things that, you know, everybody should be thinking about, or here's some other discussions that you should have, or, you know, here's some things that, you know, we've seen in other parts of the state or other districts or, stuff like that too, so I think that's a great idea. So.
Alright, so I guess I would make a motion, that, how do I word the motion?
So, I mean, we can say, I make a motion to approve conducting a joint, is I'm reading and then I added
Yep.
some stuff in. So approve conducting a joint board meeting with Siren and or Webster schools with a facilitator from a third party present.
Yeah.
Or led by a yeah, it could just be with a facilitator from a third party.
Yeah. So that's the motion I will
Is
make,
that okay?
if I can get a second.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Any opposed? Alright, thanks. Stay tuned for this, what I'm sure will be a really fun scheduling circus.
Cause you're
Well,
talking
I
at least
mean-
23 people. right?
Yeah. It's a- I mean, it's
So I
a-
assume at this point in time now that the board, both other boards have
Webster
approved it.
us did, so I'm
Yeah.
assuming since Siren reached out to us, that
So
they're
now
in
the
favor of it.
superintendents, you guys will
So
talk
I'll call
and
Kevin
start
up and
throwing
we'll
out
talk
some
and throw out
dates
some
and-
dates and,
And then we'll kinda go from there.
Cause I don't,
Yeah.
when they reached out, it wasn't because their board had already voted to reach out.
Oh.
their clerk did it on behalf of their president, who they kinda had the blessing of the board, but they didn't do a full vote, so.
Right.
Right.
And that's the other reason that we thought it would be important to get an actual, like, we had sort of talked about it, we were kind of certainly had indicated interest, but I think it is important to have a record that we all, yep, we said, this is what we wanna do, this is what we're gonna do.
Do we need a quorum of board members to have this meeting?
No, we'll list it as a committee of the whole,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
that way,
I mean,
So-
whoever can
said
show
that,
up
so-
can.
We,
Yeah.
it is likely to be, I think, a situation where, I mean, there's no way all 23 people are gonna be
Right, that's what I was
there.
thinking, so if we don't need to
Right.
do that, it's easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll list it
Yeah.
as a committee of the whole meeting of those that go, because we are not approving
It's a
anything, it's not
discussion.
action, it's totally discussion and.
Okay.
Like it might only be one of us that can make it, but
Right.
maybe all five of us
Right.
can make it. Yeah, no,
And it will be open to the public.
yeah.
And I don't know that, I mean, part of the logistics also will just be in the location, the
Yeah,
figuring out the
yeah,
location.
and then the facilitator, so.
Alright, thanks everyone. So now we're on to just discussing, future dates, so the committee meetings, Kyle, that you wanted to get to, policy and or facilities?
Yeah, policy, would it be possible for the 24th, like next Wednesday, are you guys open during the day?
I think so. I'm trying to find a very important phone.
Put you on the spot, right?
Where is it? I found.
So like Wednesday the 24th or on the afternoon of the 25th for policy.
Twenty-fourth is wide open.
24th works for me.
Those two are
So
policies.
those two
so
are
we don't have to
policy.
worry about this.
Okay, so
24th?
24th works better.
Yep.
what's a good time for you, Sue?
So good time?
Yeah,
I mean, usually
would
I'm
you
always
tell
like
me?
morning is my
Morning.
preferred, but I mean, I'm wide open, so if
So
something
we got 10 o'clock?
Sure. Alright,
On the 24th?
yeah.
Alright, so that's
What did
policy,
you say,
and
10
you
o'clock?
need facilities to come?
Yeah, facilities, Ryan from Market and Johnson's gonna try and be here at 10 o'clock on the 25th and meet with Carl and I. And then we can meet with the facility committee after that. It doesn't have to be the 25th, it could be some other day too. I'm on vacation the week of the 29th.
Is there any way to do evening or?
Yeah, cause I know you, like 5:30,
Yeah.
6 o'clock works and Carl's okay with that.
Is he okay?
I just know
Cause
the
I'm
market.
just saying with
Yeah.
childcare or whatever, I don't have anything during the day, and I tried to do a meeting today, like Zoom, and it was just horrible.
Yeah.
So, the week of July sixth,
Sure.
around 4:30, whatever works best for you.
April, what time the week, July 6th, is there a day that works better?
I think most of my after 4 o'clocks are fine during that week.
And what time works for you, April?
I don't, 5 or 5:30, are we doing it that Monday?
But any day that week, I mean,
Any day that
I'm
weekend.
around that
The
week.
week of the 6th, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I could do the 6th, cause I think I'm going out of town on the 8th, so I could do the 6th.
Alright, the 6th at 5:30,
Sure.
okay.
Alright. 6:30 for facilities. And our regular board meeting in July is on Wednesday, July 15th at 5:30. Stay tuned on scheduling if there's going to be a joint committee of the whole meeting with the other two school boards.
Do you wanna do a goal setting
And
meeting
then goal
after our
setting,
regular
I was
board
gonna
meeting,
say,
after the
probably.
15th, or?
Yeah, do we do that, will that still be in July or first part of August, or?
It can be whatever you guys want to.
I'm out of town from the 6th through the 14th of August, so I would say if we did it in August, actually the 3rd or the 5th work for me. But otherwise, July is so good, so July works, that would be perfect for me.
Do you guys have any preference, Eric, Marcus, for goal setting? It's always one of my favorite meetings in the room. And we'll want Cory there too.
Yeah, we want Corey too, we'll be interested, cause,
You're right.
board meeting's the 15th, right? Would the next week work, we go the 20th? Would Thursday the 23rd work, cause Corey told me he can't the 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
We're in August.
We're in
No,
July.
July
Okay.
23rd.
It's like, oh, I thought we were talking about August. Okay.
Yes.
Is July
And we-
23rd okay?
As far as I know at this point, that's.
And the goal setting meeting with admin and the board that we've done in previous years, and that I think we usually schedule that for a little longer, I think, isn't it like usually it's like a 3-hour
Yeah, max.
block.
Oh, yeah, that's right, we've been max.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
I can't think after 3 hours I'm done, that's it, I'm just
Yeah.
telling you,
Yeah.
I get
So if we
mushy up
start
there.
at 5:30, we'll definitely be out of here by 8:30,
So
And
the
we wanna have them be
23rd
there
at-
that night.
yeah.
23rd
So
at
Thursday the
5:30.
Thursday the
23rd.
23rd at 5:30, goal setting.
Okay. Is this meeting labeled goal setting with administration and board, or do we
Yes.
call it anything? Okay,
And that's a good name for it,
okay. Perfect.
that's a good name.
So I currently have policy committee meeting Wednesday, June 24th at 10 a.m. Facilities committee meeting Monday, July 6th at 5:30 p.m. Regular board meeting Wednesday, July 15th at 5:30 p.m. and goal setting meeting with admin and board Thursday, July 23rd at, 5:30. Yes?
Yes,
That's correct, that's
Okay.
fine
and
too.
the only other thing we'd have would be the joint meeting with Siren
Yeah,
and West.
Yeah.
to be determined.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give it those two gentlemen.
Alright, sounds great. We do have a closed session tonight, so we'll take a quick break before we convene in closed session. 5 minutes or so. Yeah.
She's full,
She's
too.
okay, yeah.